The California Supreme Court said this week that cities do have the power to control whether pot dispensaries exist through their zoning laws. But does the state high court's ruling do anything to resolve San Diego's longtime dilemma over how to regulate medical marijuana shops? Alex Crate used to head the city's medical marijuana task force and is a professor at Thomas Jefferson School of Law. He's here to offer some perspective on yesterday's ruling. Alex, how does yesterday's state Supreme Court ruling affect San Diego's attempts to create an ordinance that would allow these pot dispensaries to exist?
Well, I think it gives the San Diego City Council and the mayor's office a little bit more confidence that whatever they decide to do, they're going to be on pretty safe legal ground. The California Supreme Court said that if localities want to ban dispensaries, they can do that with their zoning laws, and by implication, if they want to do something else, for example, pass strict regulations about dispensaries, they can do that too. And that's what the city of San Diego has been looking at, getting strict regulations in place.
Okay, let's talk about the ban portion. Are you at all worried that cities now may just completely abandon any effort to regulate these pot shops, given that their attempts have resulted in pretty long drawn out litigation and costly litigation?
Yeah, I think it's unlikely that we're going to see localities looking to ban dispensaries after this decision, for the simple reason that most localities that want to have bans already have enacted them. Localities that don't want bans have something else in place, or like San Diego are kind of working towards getting something else in place. So I think that this decision kind of just reaffirms what's sort of the status quo, with the caveat that localities can breathe a little bit easier knowing that whatever they pass, whether it's a ban, whether it's a regulation, they're going to be on safer legal ground.
Alex, it seems like state and city officials are running around in circles here, that all of this time that's being spent on figuring out how to regulate these pot shops is all for naught, given what federal law says about marijuana. In fact, San Diego City Attorney Jan Goldsmith spoke to this issue yesterday. We have a clip from him.
There are federal decisions which we believe are clear that says that federal criminal laws on marijuana preempt state law. What does that mean? Even if you allow a dispensary, whether it be an industrial, retail, commercial, they can still get prosecuted under federal law because the possession, distribution, transportation of marijuana is a crime under federal law.
So Alex, what is the point of the city going through all this trouble to figure this out when ultimately it's the feds who get to decide what's happened to these dispensaries and have shown quite clearly, especially in this region, that they will shut these dispensaries down? Well,
I think there's a distinction, in what Jan Goldsmith said. Federal law doesn't preempt state law in this area. Preemption is a really sort of specific technical term, and it means that the state or the local law would be null and void. And that's pretty clear in the courts that federal law doesn't actually preempt the state or local law. But it is equally clear, as Jan Goldsmith said accurately, that federal officials can prosecute individuals who violate federal law. So if you open up a dispensary, regardless of the legal status under state law or under local law, the federal government can go and prosecute people. The reality is, though, even though they have that power, they don't really have the resources to go after more than a small fraction of the dispensaries that are out there. And that's almost, I think, been one of the things that's been most odd about what the federal government has done. They've continued to go after, do raids, do prosecutions, and all the while there's still plenty of places operating in most parts of the state. In San Diego, the reason that we don't have anybody operating really is due to local law.
And there does seem to be some inconsistency from the federal level. You have had President Obama say that, he's got bigger fish to fry and he's not willing to expend a lot of resources in shutting these pot shops down. And then a year ago, there seems to have been a reversal. What is it going to take to get some clarity from the feds on this subject?
Well, I think there's a few things. One thing is getting people in office who support the president's policies. The U.S. Attorney here in San Diego, Laura Duffy, it has independence, from what the president says. She's independently appointed and confirmed, and from what the Department of Justice says in D.C., she has her own independence, as U.S. Attorney here in San Diego. And so, you do kind of wonder why the president would appoint people to these positions who don't intend to follow the policy that they announce in D.C. So I think that's one thing, is getting folks who really believe in the president's position that has been stated to let states do what they want in this area.
And we've got to end it there. Alex Cright, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.